What you waiting for? It's time. Time for love. It's time. Time for the sun and sand. It's time. Time for fun. It's time. It's time. It's time to let your hair down. Come on. Come on. Come on. To have no fear. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's time. What you waiting for? It's time. 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 What you waiting for?
Let's do it. Wow. 100 points. Anybody can tell me who's that song. Who was that? Working all week, 9 to 5 for my money. So when the weekend comes, I go get lives with the hunt. Ladies and gentlemen.
I know that now.
Well, who is it?
I can't remember the name, but I know the tune now. I'm playing it in my head.
My name is Tone Loc, baby, 1989. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live edition of the Merv Britto Show on this beautiful sunny Sunday. Sunny Sunday. Can you see some sun behind me? That's the glare off my bald head. Welcome to another edition of our show, the Merv Britto Show, live on Sunday. Coming up in today's show, we have India at the Commonwealth Games. How well are they doing? Good, bad, or ugly? The Cockroach Janata Party, the fallout explained, what's been happening since. Also, what the hell is happening here in Goa? Since the party, the fallout and the protests, what is going on here with the CJP protests right here in Goa? We're going to talk about that, excuse me, and a whole lot more on today's show. But first, as we always do, we say hi to the team that make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Merv Britto team, starting with Mr. Ajoy Barreto.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday with the Merv Britto Show, and I'm hoping that we'll get some calls today, Merv.
Hey, did you ever heard of Tone Loc?
I did, through you.
Wild Thing, Funky Cole Medina.
A Wild Thing.
There you go. I was rapping.
Hey,
wow.
That's a Rolling Stone song. Come on.
It is. If you are a music buff, you will know immediately. The Wild Thing used a riff from Van Halen, Jamie's Crying. Wow, wow. Did you hear that sound?
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 Jamie's crying. Wow, wow. I love my music, dude. That's a 1980s, 89, I think it is.
Hang on. Are you talking about Janie's Got a Gun?
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, the other fellow at the 1 and 2s, Mr. Wilbert Cardozo. Hello. Is it me? Is that Lionel Richie, dude?
Dude, he actually sounds really good. He actually sounds good.
Willie, you got to sing for your wedding, dude. If you can sing with that voice, I'd pay money to hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not in the studio today, Mr. Yusuf Mataji and Mr. Neil Rodrigues. But next, last but not least, the wordinator, the wordsmith, my beautiful wife who's looking lovely in her rust-colored top, the one and only Mrs. Joanne Britto.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Nice to be back again. And I'd like to thank my mum for my lovely rust top. I haven't worn it for a while, but I thought maybe it'll just pop tonight.
It reminds me of all the water tanks here in Goa with... they get covered in mud in that rust, dude. It looks lovely on you. That color suits you, Joanne. We are... Any shout-outs, by the way? You want to wish anybody?
I just basically wanted to say Happy Friendship Day. So it's Friendship Day here in India. And in some of the Americas, it's also celebrated. So I was thinking about it earlier when you reminded everybody, and thinking to the quote that you can have friends for reasons, seasons, and a lifetime. So it's just, it's good for us to reflect on the importance of our friendships in our lives.
It's a very important day. People don't take it serious enough. These days come and go, and they're so commercialized, but these kind of days, once every year, remind us how important friends are. No, Ajoy?
Absolutely.
They play a big part of our lives. Yeah. And they're very, very important people. And we talk about people having loaded, heavy work days and busy schedules. And it's your friends that actually give you that release at the end of a busy day.
Yeah.
to be able to have a chit chat and just family and friends would make it happen.
Absolutely. I mean, I always such an advocate of the fact that friends are the family that you actually choose.
There you go.
So when I had finished college and everything, I went to London to work, and so there was no family around me at that point. So I was surrounded by friends who became my London family.
Speaking of friends and family on this friendship day, I want to send a shout out to all my squash buddies. I have started playing squash, by the way. Thank you for asking.
Really? Where?
Like Mr. Yashfate, no, not even close. I wouldn't be a pimple on his bum. But I've started going to the Panjim Gymkhana, and I play squash in the evenings.
Panjim.
Porvorim, sorry, dude. This place is awesome. Schubert and Jazz and myself, and there's a couple of guys there. I've started playing. I love squash, and I forgot how much I loved it.
Can I come join you?
Come and join us, dude. We're there at 8 o'clock. Porvorim Gymkhana. It's awesome. Great facility. Workout, 45 minutes, and I'm done. I'm spent.
But it's the morning or evening here?
Evening, Baba.
Okay. All right. Not bad.
So to my squash buddies and my friends, happy Friendship Day. To all of you out there, ladies and gentlemen, to anybody tuning in, this is a live broadcast show we do every week. We love to hear from you. We love to get you it's an interactive show. We'd love to get you involved and hear what you think. And please check out our social media handles right now. Support us. If you like what we do and you want to support us, show us some love. Tell people about it. Like, share, and subscribe our channel. You can get in touch with us live at 750-7246-246 on WhatsApp. You can come on the air, wish anybody, like Joanne normally sends, shout outs. You can connect with anybody around the world. We will put you two in touch and take you live on the air. We do this live, and you don't believe me, but we're live on the air right now. So if you don't believe me, give us a call. Call that number on your screen. The opinions expressed on the show are the opinions of the people expressing them, and not the expressed or implied opinions of the Merv Britto Show. We talk about topics sometimes pretty contentious. We're not partisan. We are apolitical, a-religious. We had Sean. We got to talk about Sean, SFK.
Yeah.
Not our SRK.
No,
not
SKF.
God damn, I just messed that up. I'm talking about Shah Rukh Khan is SRK. Mohammed bin Salman is MBS. We had the man himself on the show last week, by the way. He was awesome.
It was great.
He's an enigma.
I don't know how he fits it all into 24 hours a day, I have to say.
30 years old.
Yeah.
Multiple business. He's like a serial entrepreneur, chronic entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I like what he's doing. He's actually doing great things. He's making pots of money, but he's giving back and helping people with teaching and training. We talk about education every week.
Can I just say, did he tell you he was making pots of money? I didn't hear him say that.
I'm sure he's making pots of money. But you know what? He deserves it. He works hard. He's got a good mind. He's got a brain on him. And I wish we could produce more Sean Kenneth Fernandez.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He was so interesting to talk to, doing research around him and his companies pre the show. I was just really intrigued to meet him. And when he came to the studio, he's just such a down-to-earth guy. And the thing is, he just practices what he preaches as well. And I love the fact that he's obviously responsible for a lot of people in his organization, but equally he's giving back as well. He's taking time to give back, which I think is fantastic, because I know Bridge Aura is coming up in a few weeks as well.
We're going to go to that, yeah? We should go to that. He trains people that are in the job market, and here again, we talk about this on the show. We're passionate. We do the show live every week because we're passionate about Goa, the place where we not only live, but we love, and we've seen the changes sometimes not necessarily for the good, for the positive. There is stuff hitting the fan, shit happening every day. And we do the show live every week to talk about these things. We have a laugh. We entertain people anywhere around the world. If you want to tune in, you're actually tuning in and hearing our opinions, because we're not political or we're not trying to sell you anything, but these topics need to be spoken about and people need to be made aware of what's going on, right?
Yeah. Some
good, some bad. We have a laugh. Some are light, but some are pretty heavy.
Absolutely.
With Sean, we've spoken about education and how our education here in this country is shite. And it needs to change. So with his Bridge Aura, it's a non-profit, it's a non-for-profit training academy. They help people to polish up their skills to go for interviews.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that he's given back. Sean, a big shout out to you. Thank you for coming on the show, by the way. And actually a big shout out to Calvin for putting us together. Mr. Calvin DeMello, the Playboy. He's a gigolo. Basketball player, Calvin. Cal, thank you, by the way, for putting us together with Sean. But he was a great guest, knowledgeable, really entertaining.
And the thing was, it was one of those topics whereby you could actually take some really good advice from it and you can put it into practice. And that's what I really like. It's always being able to practically implement stuff. And we had someone from Egypt also who passed comment during the show. And I was just like saying what a great conversation it was. And it's just lovely. It's nice to get that validation. And, you know, no matter where you are in the world, if someone's talking great sense that can help you, that, you know, can inspire you to greater heights, then all the better.
Who was Mira's friend from Egypt? My cousin Mira.
Oh, yeah.
Is that her?
No, it wasn't her.
I don't remember her name.
I never thought of her, but yeah.
The whole idea, Joanne, we bang on the show every week about education, and we have snowflakes and the problems that are happening. There's good things happening too. And I want to make this crystal clear before I jump into our first topic. We're not broadcasting any kind of dissent or controversy or anything to rabble-rouse. There are some very good people out there, some great politicians, brilliant police, great government officials that are doing great work, teachers and all. The whole idea is this place is such a gold mine. To me, it's my heart. I love Goa. And I have to talk about these things because it's the only little thing we can do to make people aware of it.
Absolutely. But what I was going to say, Merv, it's all about us flipping the why to the how.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's really, really important because I think at first when we were first broadcasting and we were talking about stuff, it's like, why is it like this and why is it like that? And we want to flip it more to how can we and what can we do in order to get to where we want to and in order to make Goa great again.
I love that. I love that. That's exactly why we do the show. Ladies and gentlemen, if I couldn't put it better than my wife, that's the premise of the show. And we talk about these things to make people aware. We're not trying to guide, strive, lead you in any direction. We got to talk about these things, and everybody's got an opinion. Let's jump right in. By the way, it is a show where if the whole idea with having a guest, a special guest once in a while is these guys are at the top of their fields. They're great at what they do. Yeah. And it's the ability to be able to impart some information, some advice to somebody out there listening. Yeah. Young person listening that can be another great going. Yeah. Let's jump in. We're going to talk about this young lady who supposedly after Navy dreams, going female marine engineer.
Oh,
is that where you can start?
No, we're not going to talk about her.
You tell me.
No, we were going to talk about her a little bit more later on. I don't think necessarily today. I found her to be quite inspirational on the back of the conversation that we'd actually had with Sean, but I think she needs a little bit more of a spotlight in what she's been able to achieve. What we were going to actually just jump straight in and talk about was regarding the CM's initiative around the trees. So we were being promised about 10 lakh trees that were going to be planted from World Environment Day up until the 5th of September.
10 lakh is a million trees.
So it's a lot.
10 lakh is a million trees, dude. Yeah. And all these people from Delhi come to Goa because it's so polluted and absolutely horrible, the quality of air. And he's going to do this, which is a great thing, but...
Yeah. But apparently, as it stands, up until now, which is the 2nd of August, which we're a month away from the deadline, the only publicly available information is the 3,200 saplings that had been planted on the first day. 3,200, yeah. So it's like, well, where's all the rest of them? And, you know, how are we going to reach the deadline?
9,997,000 plants to be planted. Hey, who was that guy, Ajo? You brought that guy, that Goan guy that's really passionate about the environment. We had this guy. What's this guy's name?
Daniel.
So he is passionate, and he's actually somebody who's knowledgeable about this. The Plantation tribe is a total disaster. Why is he saying this? Any specific reason?
He's saying that
trees across India, and also our Honorable Chief Minister of Goa for taking up this plantation drive. But sir, I would like to bring it to your kind attention. These are people trees, and these people trees cannot be planted in a median because they'll become giants and they will break these curbstones. Secondly, people trees will give out small figs. These figs are going to fall on the road and every scooterist and every vehicle passing will
See,
meet
that's
with an
why
accident.
he should have been
Third,
consulted.
I want to show you all the spacing.
He should have been consulted, dude. And that's we talk about this all the time, right? This guy's a knowledgeable guy when it comes to flora and fauna and planting and all this kind of stuff. Why would you plant the wrong trees on the median and have the fruit potentially cause hazards to bikes and stuff, right?
Which trees was that?
People trees. He's talking about people trees, right?
Because essentially in the program it's supposed to be jamun and banyan trees. It's supposed to be planting.
My dear, we spoke about, what's her name? Who's the Ruble Nagy, who should be the Minister of Education because she's passionate and tops in her field. Somebody like Daniel or any horticulturist, we've got him here. Yeah. Lincoln, my landlord, is into gardening. But ask somebody, listen, at these places, we want to plant 1 million trees. Give me a breakdown. What trees, where to plant them, what makes the most sense to be planted where? Yeah. They've not consulted anybody. You're putting the wrong trees, and the poor people that are implementing these have no clue. You've got a whole forestry department, guys.
Yeah. Well, obviously, those people are going to be extremely knowledgeable as well. But the point is, if you're planting those kinds of trees, they become a hazard. It would make it extremely slippy and slushy and all sorts. That's like really dangerous.
But that's the scary part, right? Because we cut 10 times and measure once. And you're doing something that is ass backwards. No? You've got people out there with great ideas wanting to, for example, if the CM, Dr. Pramod Sawant, is wanting to plant these trees, great initiative. But put the right people in place. Yeah. That's actually going to do the implementation properly, right? Do the research, do the homework, gather the smartest people you know in that field and tell them what the initiative is. We want to plant 1 million trees. What do you suggest? Come on, come up with some ideas. Use technology, use social media, use the internet and figure out the best 1 million trees, the breakdown, how many of each tree, where to plant them, what needs water, what needs sunlight, what doesn't, what's good by bridges, in medians, on the side of the road. By the way, in Malaysia, they planted hardwood trees along the highways, and they harvest them every 20, 30 years to pay for the refinishing of the highways. Yeah. Teak and what's the other one? It's teak and...
Palm, wasn't it?
No, hardwood.
Oh, sorry. I thought, but they've got a lot of palm.
They do. Palm oil is an industry, sweetie. I'm talking about the government initiative to plant coconut trees along. You know, these guys. There's smarter people out there that you can use to help you do what you need to do. Yeah. So it's sad because Daniel should have been consulted, but he'd be happy to volunteer.
Absolutely, Daniel is very, very passionate and very knowledgeable about trees and anything that comes to plants.
Horticulture, mate.
You know, I think he would be an asset to any government who wants to implement the greening of any state.
You've got a whole forestry department, no?
That's right. And, you know, it's not just a question of planting trees. It's a question of ensuring that they grow to become, you know, to green Goa and become big. And it's not just left by the wayside, right? So there's so many methods that you can employ. And one of them that comes to mind that you're a big fan of is AI. I'm sure there must be some kind of an AI. Yeah.
But like he's saying, like Daniel's saying, these trees are not for the median. They're going to get massive. The fruit that falls is going to make the road slippery, right? There's a different time and a place to plant trees in different places, right? Yeah. There's a guy, by the way, in he's a retired man. I'm going to read this.
Yeah.
In Sao Paulo, which is Brazil, 2003, a retired man planted trees on forgotten land in Sao Paulo 20 plus years ago and has created one of the largest urban forests. So we're talking about these things. And I think there's such a brilliant thing because this guy did this out of his own pocket, I guess, on his own fruition. But this is the kind of stuff you need experts to tell you what trees to plant, where to plant them, what needs water, what needs sunlight, trees for beautification, bougainvillea. Dude, don't try and reinvent the wheel.
You know, Merv, there are people like this in India too. You know, in towards Assam, there's this guy who took a barren land and converted it into a forest by himself. One man over years. I'm talking about decades, converted this piece of land into prime forest, but just planting something every day and making sure that it grew, you know. And you know what? I was just traveling to South Goa yesterday, And I was thinking to myself, the drive to South Goa was so beautiful, despite all the new buildings and what have you. There's so much to be protected and preserved and enhanced.
Yeah.
So why can't we do that? I'm sure we can. And if it's the intention of the government, then we should come up with systems to ensure that those intentions are fruitful and successful on the long term.
Listen, what you're doing is not rocket science. It's been done around the world. Just replicate it. You guys, and it drives me mad. Speaking of this, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for saying this. You're starting to put traffic lights at these little teeny piss pot junctions, dude. You really think Goa needs traffic lights everywhere? Half of these goddamn lights and cameras don't work. They're implementing these cameras where they're going to send you challans and tickets to your homes like they do in the West. Guys, this is Goa. It's great to have people being more vigilant, safety standards, DWI, drinking while driving, helmets, seatbelts, all this. Mate, you're still in Goa, Ajoy.
But I think it's a step in the right direction, considering that we know that the police are understaffed.
What are you doing to make sure all of these electronics continue to work, by the way?
They should be working, firstly, right? You cannot have install something and make sure that it's not working.
But that's what ends up happening, no?
Yeah, that's right.
What ends up happening. That's my point, right? If you're going to spend our hard-earned money, which is great initiatives, but you're not trying to be like Mumbai or Delhi or Bangalore or Hyderabad or the UK or the US, right? This is still Goa. We love the craziness of Goa. Yes, you want to implement rules and enforce rules, but traffic lights? And they're putting them at these small little junctions. I've started noticing them around Porvorim and Padra. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, that's not the kind of place we've become.
But I think it's either that or we have mad people driving on the roads, right?
Why did you say we don't have enough police? Why don't we have enough police?
I don't know, Merv. I think maybe one is we don't have the budgets for it.
Are you kidding me? Money?
Yeah, that's what my only reasoning is. But we are understaffed. For every 1,000 people, we have a very low police rate, right? So I think if not investing in new police force, then at least investing in technology that allows you to ensure that people adhere to the law. And follow the rules.
Why, Ajoy? We've got the money. Please don't say it's not because of money, because there's plenty of money. There's money in the budgets. That money's being put aside. The money needs to be spent and spent properly, and people need to be transparent.
Yeah.
And you need to identify where the money needs to be spent. You mean to tell me we don't have enough judges? We're having a backlog of court cases. Yep. You're telling me we don't have smart prosecutors, enough smart ex-judges and prosecutors to be able to take on these cases and figure out a better way in a system to make sure the court systems, our judicial system is a goddamn joke. Absolutely. The police. And you've had these young people, the Cockroach Janata Party, stand up because of one minister of education. They got their goal. They did their thing. Yeah. Good for them. We're going to talk later about them. But I'm just saying to you, you want to plant trees. You want to start putting traffic lights and all this BS. But you've got to fix these problems properly, thought out. Get the experts involved. And all I'm saying is measure 50 times before you cut.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, but I was also going to make a point that the postal system here is not the best.
It's a joke.
So the point is you're going to, overload the postal system that I've hardly ever seen anybody as a postman come to deliver post. I've only ever seen anyone come where you have to sign. Someone turns up on a bike and then you've just got to sign for a document or a letter.
Mrs. Britto, it comes electronically in the mail. You get a notification on your phone. Your car is registered to a telephone number. You'll get a notification on your phone saying you've been issued a challan for driving without your seatbelt. It's just good. This is great technology. You really think we need that in Goa, Joy?
I think so.
And they're going to generate revenue.
Right now, I've reached a stage where I think we need something.
They're going to generate revenue. Where's that revenue going to go? Then you're going to turn around and say we don't have any money. Where are the fines and for littering, for driving the traffic infractions, right? I understand. Great. But you've got a grassroots problem when the police have to pay to join the force. And you've got to pay to get a government job, and you've got to pay to become a teacher, right? So these kind of things have to change first, right?
Yes, I agree. So the corruption has to be removed from the system, but something needs to be done, right? We have to move forward and in upward direction. So maybe this could work. Who knows?
I want to talk about this bridge, this beautiful flyover, because I traveled to go and play squash at the Porvorim gym. When is this going to be ready, by the way? The flyover, the Porvorim Flyover.
They've been load testing it just to check for the safety of it. But the headline that I'd seen before was saying that it was going to be inaugurated on Goa Liberation Day on
27th?
19th of December.
No.
Yeah. So this was a report in last year. It was reported last year that they were going to inaugurate.
Dude, look at this picture, man. Can you imagine being the drivers of these vehicles? You're the one who's going to go and test the bridge whether it's going to collapse or not.
I thought the same thing.
As a test pilot.
Take your trucks. No, really. Take your truck. No, you have to. Take your trucks on the bridge. And if you make it back, the bridge is safe. But if you don't, good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Yeah. But I guess they must be really confident of what they built. So great.
Yeah, because basically they have to check that it has been constructed to the design specifications and it can actually handle all of the traffic safely. Because it's.
Do you get any hazard pays? Do you get any hazard pay to drive that truck on the bridge to test it?
I wish I had the answer to that one.
I'd have gone on that.
You're out your mind.
Eh?
They've done this many places in the world, but I love, and this is actually a good part of the story because whoever's done this bridge has done a great job. Just like the Atul Setu bridge, I have to say, they've done a great job building these bridges. I don't know if we need so many damn bridges around here because traffic is getting worse and worse, so it'll help alleviate a lot of the congestion. But
yeah,
they've done a good job building this bridge. I'm glad it's on schedule. I'm glad. I'll be thrilled to alleviate all of the traffic congestion, dude.
Yeah, and all the bottlenecks and things like that at some of these major junctions. It will be great if it does what it says on the tin.
It does. I'm sure it will, dude. I want to talk about these.
So when is it, Willie? Tell us.
What?
It's on 13 September.
So
there you go.
It's
scheduled to be inaugurated. So now they've changed on the eve of Ganesh.
Yeah, that report was last year December.
No, I know it was, but the point is, it's like
I've never heard of this, by the way. I've never heard of this. They have actually preponed the opening date. This never happens. If you're telling me Liberation Day, Liberation's December, no?
Yeah.
This particular report says it's August 2026. Oh, it's going to be completed, but inauguration is another thing, right? I'm as clueless as you are.
Dr. Sawan,
so apparently, from what I've read or heard, they're going to have a brief opening, like so that people can go and enjoy the view of the bridge.
Correct.
And then they're going to have the inauguration on 13 September, just before the Ganesh Chaturthi.
Whenever they do, in countries all around the world, they normally have people walk the bridge and do a huge promo, like in San Francisco and stuff, the Golden Gate or whatever bridges. Once a year they do these things. I would love that to be the case where they open it to the public for only walking before they actually open it to motor traffic.
Yeah, they did that to Atal Setu also.
How cool is that? I would love to go, dude. Can we go?
We should go.
I can't wait till this bridge is open. That'll be a great thing. Kudos to them. Well done. I mean, the bridge is looking great, and it's going to be awesome to alleviate the traffic. No more traffic congestion in Porvorim.
Can you pull those faces again?
Here's another shot of those trucks.
You never learn, do you? Tell me, put a picture of that. Put a picture of these trucks. This is hazard pay, mate. Let's load test the bridge. How are we going to load test the bridge? Put 50 trucks on the bridge, and let's see if it doesn't come down. Before I pay you my money, before I write you the next check.
It's on.
Yeah,
you can
on.
see. Yeah.
Dude. Look at that.
8 trucks and a reporter.
There are 12 trucks.
Or 12 trucks. Okay.
Wait, how you figure 12?
So
2, 4.
6 into 2.
That's 5,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, there are 6 on the 6 on this side and 6 on that side.
Well done. The bridge is that actually how you need to load test something?
That's a good question, man.
They did it in
Actually,
a
it
planned
is-
sequence.
Good for them. We're not going to bag on them. I'm happy the bridge is going to be ready. I want to talk about these Fatorda residents that were given an ultimatum against some proposed 300 flat housing, Joanne.
Yeah.
There was a project in the south of Goa. It was reported by 360. You're going to show this? You're not going to show this, all right?
Unfortunately, no.
This is AI generated bullshit.
No, it's true.
Bollocks.
Yeah, that's
China's Huang Grand Canyon Bridge. Put it on the screen before I jump into this. Got accepta?
I'm putting it. 1 second. Well, what do you want me to put?
Dude, put that one with all the red vehicles. Now that's how you load test a bridge. And the one to the right of that, Ajoy. This is in Huangjiang Grand Canyon Bridge, China's Huangjiang Grand Canyon Bridge, where this is how you load not 12 trucks, not like that. Whenever, put on that's a load test, dude. Gata?
Yeah, here you go.
Look at that, dude. That's how you load to the world's tallest bridge in China passes load test with 96 heavy trucks declared safe. Baba?
I would be really, really worried if I was one of those drivers. But I guess you have to trust in the technology and the expertise that has gone into designing it, right?
But you've got to do it with a lot more than 12 or 20 trucks, dude. At any given time, Ajoy, you're going to have 100 vehicles on that bridge, Baba.
Yes.
12 trucks doesn't make a safe bridge. Anyway, so this is loads. 96 is a big number. And this is the highest bridge, tallest bridge in the world.
Yeah, it's a cable-stayed bridge at that too as well, right?
Technology, trust in tech. Okay, jump in. Let's go. Joanne, you were going to talk about this Fatorda residence, the stern ultimatum against the proposed project.
Yeah.
What's that?
Supposedly, this is a project that is going to add 1,200 more residents to this particular area in Fatorda. However, the locals are opposing it because they said that the construction license permissions for this actually ran out in 2008. So they're saying it's absolutely out of date, the whole thing. So, there's no way that they've got a valid construction license in order to be able to build these 300 proposed flats.
Why are they doing stuff? And especially since you're going to be scrutinized as a government agency, why are you allowing things that are not legal to happen, especially in the government? Is there nobody who's checking licenses? Is there no department that check license to make sure the licenses are valid? And good for the residents. The residents of Fatorda, that is brilliant that they've come out to say, we don't want these 300 flat housing projects. Stand up for your locality, right?
Absolutely. They're essentially saying that it'll alter the demography of the area and everything. And so maybe valid studies haven't been done even to kind of load test how they could accommodate an extra 1,200 residents as well. So I think there was a 10-strong group of people that actually tried to get into the municipal building, but they were declined entrance.
Merv, it's a very strange phenomenon in Goa. Like, for example, in Panjim, especially I'm going to talk about my area because I'm very well versed with it. If you look at the ODP maps or the land use maps, right, it's an S2 zone. Now, if you look at what an S2 zone is as per the Goa Building Regulation Act, right, it could be a ground plus 1 or it could be a ground plus 2 with a stilt. But somehow, without any change of zoning, without any notification from the government, we are seeing buildings as high as 9 floors up.
Why, Ajoy?
So the question is, how are these buildings being given permission when the land has not been allowed? The zoning has not changed.
Yeah, but why were they not torn down?
So the thing is, my theory is there's somebody in the government, or there's somebody in these offices that's turning a blind eye, so it's an illegality. If somebody explain this to me, correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll tell you. I'll explain it.
If the land use map allows for a ground plus 2 at the most, how are we getting a ground plus 8 or ground plus 9? It's impossible unless there's a notification from the government saying that this zone has changed. I have looked for it and I've not found it, so that could only mean one thing, that it is illegal, and they're allowing this to happen so that in the long run people can convert these illegal buildings, which they are, if it's not allowed, into legal ones by paying maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 10 lakhs. What's 10 lakhs today?
Are you kidding me? Lakhs? You're talking about crores, dude.
Rubbish. Merv, there is a very famous development. I can't mention it on the show, but people know what I'm talking about. There was one.
Tell me the first letter.
It's with A. A-L. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay, it's next to the Goa University, somewhere there. So this was an illegal development.
Alcon. I'm just kidding,
don't
dude.
say it. Don't say it. Okay. It was proven in the courts that it was illegal after long drawn out battle, etc., etc. And guess what was the fine? and this is supposed to be one of the premium locations to stay today. The ultimate fine imposed on the developer was 25 lakhs.
Ajoy, you and I both know it's a joke, right? You and I both know, and I've said this to you about theriac, my favorite word for a poison, a potion to fix a poison. Why is there, did I just say poison?
Yes.
I said
Sounded effective.
Sorry, French.
Poison. No, I use an acronym. Ladies and gentlemen, I use an acronym called theriac. It's a potion used against poison. Why is there no transparency, happiness, enforcement, responsibility, accountability? If somebody is building a 7 or a 6 or 8, 9-story building, is there no enforcement, fines levied? These guys lose their licenses, the building gets torn down, right? So the government's involved in this somehow because there is a government agency, a government department, Joanne, that's supposed to give you the permission. And beyond that permission, you don't get an occupancy certificate.
Yep.
So how can you build 9 floors?
These are good questions.
So many different buildings are joined.
These are very good questions, Merv. But you know what? We've reached a state of affairs in this country, in this state, wherein you can, even if you complain to the powers that be that need to check into these things, they won't act on your complaints. I know this for a fact. And now the only way you can get these guys to do it is to go pay big money, go to the high court, because
I don't have big money.
Yeah, so that's the problem. So the system is against you. For example, now I'll have to go to a high court to get these guys to act on my complaint. You know, one representation in the High Court today will cost me nothing less than 50,000 to 1 lakh a hearing. That is, if or not it doesn't happen. I have to pay a very good lawyer to do that. This is how the system is working against you. So obviously, a person, when you don't have the funds, you're not going to be able to get these guys to act.
What did the person say on Insta?
Floor space index.
Read that, Willie.
Yeah, so we have, by the way, we have a comment from Shonku Sama. Willie's going to read it for us.
He sent 2 comments. First is they need a dedicated team extensively for maintenance.
Exclusively.
Exclusive.
For maintenance. They suck at that. Yeah, agreed. What's the other one?
And this is for Ajay, I guess. I'm pretty sure he's talking about floor space index, and it doesn't work like that.
But then you get this guy, whoever this guy is, call him Shanku Shama. I'd love to know more about it because this is interesting. Why is this is not something new, and I'm not going to get charged. Joanne makes fun of me because I get so wound up. Do I get wound up?
Yeah, you do.
Shut your mouth. What I'm saying, to get this guy, call this dude. I want to know if he knows about this kind of stuff. Why is it being allowed to happen? It's not something that happened yesterday. It's happened for years, decades. The whole of Mirabai, right? There are buildings that are 6, 7, 8. But Ajoy, you need to get a license, and a government agency has to give you an occupancy certificate, right?
This is all, you can all get that if you know who,
But it's not about who you know, Baba. You've got to follow the rules and submit the right paperwork.
Are there rules in this country?
Yes.
They're on paper, but rules are only as good as how well you implement them, or you actually put them into force.
But somebody's head should roll. If somebody's doing something that's illegal and the government's allowing it to happen, you need to have another Cockroach Janata Party protest.
We need, and I forget, we can call this, what is it? Porkit protest, we can call it.
Huh? Porkit?
Porkit. You know Porkit?
No.
Portuguese way of saying pig protest.
Porkit? Hey, shut up.
I'm not kidding you. Yeah.
Why should it be called the pig protest?
Because you know what? We are being treated like pigs. I think nobody gives a shit about us.
It should be called the donkey protest because we've been donkeys and we keep re-electing and putting the same people in power.
And coming back to these Fathoda people, right? Okay, you want to build a 1,000-floor project. No problems, build it. But where is the water going to come for these things?
Yeah.
You have to first have a feasibility study, right?
Baba Madzo.
You have to have science involved to tell you that, okay, in this space we can supply maybe 100 million liters per month or whatever. I don't know. Can
I ask you, sorry, Ajay, can I ask you a very simple question that'll put all this to sleep, put all this to bed, right? Once these are being done, is there no transparency in seeing who authorized, who gave him the permission, who was the legal head, the person, the director, the TCP, whoever the hell? It's got to be transparent. This person allowed them to build, and he should get hung.
So that's what the whole CJP protest was about. It is about
Education,
accountability.
Baba.
It's about accountability in education.
Yeah.
Like that, we need accountability everywhere.
Go on, sweetie. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say, though, they're saying that the construction license for this ran out in 2008. Okay. That's the year we got married. That's a long time ago.
Fucking hell. That's the year I started drinking.
But what I was going to say was these construction licenses, there's no consistency in terms of what the rules and regulations are for these construction licenses.
Can I make another very, very overly simplified point? I already mentioned about the transparency. Who gave him the permission? His head should roll, number one. Number two is with these licenses and stuff like that, and I don't know which one of our guests mentioned it, keep him down, keep him dumb.
That was me. I told you that.
If you, I didn't realize you were smart, dude. What I'm saying to you, Ajoy, is if this stuff is displayed on a website, and you can follow rules and regulations and everything. Listen, I'm asking you an overly dumb, simplified question. Okay. Basically, I'm making a point. Right. Why is this stuff not put online so you know when your license need to be renewed? If it's 2008 expired, you shouldn't be building. What needs to be done and when and educate people, let people, empower people, pay your fees, renew your stuff, put everything online like it's being done all around the world.
So these rules and regulations and this land use maps are readily available online. They're available on the government websites.
How did a 9-story building get built, Baba?
Good question. In fact, I know of people in the Panjim area, in Donapala area, who have applied for RTI. As per RTI Act, you're supposed to respond in 30 days, within 30 days. They're not getting RTI responses to these questions.
So
Can you imagine?
It's no, mate. And that's it. We become like a lot of, and I'm not trying to insult any African countries, but these African countries that are so corrupt, where the money just goes to Goa is just as bad, if not worse, and it happens around this country. And this is the change we're looking at seeing right now. I hope the CJP continues on. And we're going to move on from this, yeah?
Yeah, but
I want to talk about, yes, sweetie.
I was just going to say, apparently they're saying they're going to check the legal aspects of this within the next 15 days, which you would have expected they'd have done before now.
Why now?
I know, but essentially they did in fact let a delegation of 10 people in to meet the officer in charge. So the chief officer.
He should be fired, Joanne, because he's let this happen and continue to happen with a license that's expired. Okay, so here again, we're going to get even more contentious. What the hell is happening in Panjim? So after the CJP party, I mentioned that in the intro.
Yeah.
There's somebody named, and I don't know who this is, somebody named Umar Khalid.
Yeah.
I think before we get to Umar Khalid, let's talk about what happened with the CJP fallout, right?
Okay.
So, because...
they did a great job, by the way. Kudos to the CJP and all the young people. They're getting screwed, by the way. They're pulling them out of their houses now. Right? They're going and arresting them at home. And this is this is China. This is what happened at the Hong Kong protests when people were getting sprayed and they were going to the houses and arresting these people. Now, if you've broken the rules and laws, damn right. But if you're protesting peacefully, why should you have any fear of speaking out, asking questions, or protesting? No?
No, absolutely.
So, Ajay mentioned you want to talk about this. I was going to talk about this. I don't even know who Umar Khalid is.
We'll come back to that. But
so basically, as you know, the CJP, the Cockroach Janata Party, it's not actually a political party as yet. Although people say that it could be one in the future, they were fighting for accountability in education, right? You had a leakage, and I think this is, what, I salute the young generation, the Gen Z of this country for actually making a difference. They came out, they took those lathis, they took electrical shocks. The lathis had rusted nails on them.
When did police lathis have nails, by the way?
That's crazy.
So something doesn't add up. Something's not making sense. People were threatened by this. The political parties and their senior members obviously were threatened by what the kids and the youth were able to do, and they made it. They did it. They got the job done. They got the results they wanted. But something stinks up a storm if you've got screws and nails on lathis, if you've got people that are not police beating or enforcing rules like the police, like the qualified police. You've got people that don't even belong there that are doing these things, these miscreants that are creating problems under the guise of peaceful protest and giving these guys a bad name, right?
Yeah, but also Rahul Gandhi's asking who approved the use of pellet guns, because these were peaceful protesters. So why on earth were pellet guns also?
Yeah, but Joanne, you also got the bad apples in the crowd, right? You've got to have. Listen, it's non-lethal. That's fine. If you, Ajoy, I am not purporting or I'm not promoting any kind of dissension or any kind of incite anybody to do anything. I'm just saying, do it by the books, by the law. If you're doing it legally, a peaceful protest, yes, you've got police with guns and non-lethal weapons and water cannons and spray and all this kind of stuff. You don't need lathis with nails.
So the thing is, with regards to the claim that it was the students that had started stone pelting. One, there are unverified reports, and there are videos of this, of actually trucks being brought in, and this is a very secure area. This is, they call it Jantar Mantar. It's next to the parliament.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a very, very sensitive zone.
Yeah.
So clearly there would be police checks, etc.
Of course.
So trucks were brought in before this whole protest was supposed to happen with stones, as per what I saw. Okay.
Are you saying that this is somebody playing a game to put it on the students?
I have a feeling because how could those trucks? There are videos of this, of trucks with stones being brought in. There are videos of these broken vehicles with their windshields broken, being placed, having in that area before.
Are you serious?
Before the protest happened.
So they're staging this and trying to blame and put it on these people. If this is, but they need to have investigations, right? I'm saying to you, there was blatant evidence with lathis, wooden lathis with screws and nails, and people were beaten, and they've got the scars to prove it. These guys are getting into a secure part of the country. Jantar Mantar is next to the parliament. It's very. How did this happen, and why is this not being investigated? First of all, are we not allowed to protest? If you're doing it legally, if you're doing by the books, if you're doing something that is not illegal, you should not face any. You should have no fear of repercussions. So if you've done something wrong, they absolutely, they got your number, they've identified you, go and arrest them. But if you guys are just making a point where we want to, Mahatma Gandhi did it. He did, it was a peaceful protest, and he got the results, right? Yeah. These kids came out in huge numbers. Yes, if you've done something illegal, arrest them, right? Yeah. But if you're protesting peacefully, and Rahul Gandhi is part of this protest.
No, and he came
and supported them, right? Which is kudos to him.
Predominantly supposed to be a non-political movement, and I think it was that.
Yeah.
Ajoy, but why are people being arrested at home?
Yeah, but one thing though, people were actually having to queue to be able to get into the more sensitive area. It wasn't like they were just barging in there. There were barriers and things, and people were queuing up.
Sweetie, there were a lot of people. There were a lot of police that didn't even have name tags on them. They identified a lot of police. I saw a lot of these young people with social media is a great thing if it's used properly. There was a guy that was interviewing police and asking them why they did not have their badges, their name tags, why they couldn't be identified.
Exactly. There were a lot of so-called police without their name tags. There were a lot of people, a lot of plainclothes policemen who they say were not police. So but big questions. You're talking about pellet guns. First of all, it is banned in many of the civilized countries around the world.
Not pellet guns, rubber pellets.
No,
this is non-lethal.
The thing is, it may be non-lethal, Merv, but it can lead to very devastating injuries. Now, 2 people have got these pellets in their eye.
Metal?
Some of them metal, some of rubber. Doesn't matter. It goes into you, right? It's like shotgun pellets. So it's gone into somebody's eye. They can lose their eye. And apparently it's supposed to be a last resort, an absolute last resort. Here, clearly it was never a last resort.
We're on the same page.
It's supposed to be shot against at their legs. Here you have injuries at people's faces. How is it possible?
Ajoy, it's not going to be, everything's not going to be done perfectly, but it should be investigated, is all I'm saying, right? Just like here in Panjim, when you're building illegal buildings in an S2 zone where it's not permitted. Why did it happen? How did it happen? Investigate it and punish the people that allowed it to happen. So if these police are not undercover police, they should be there. It's their superiors that are supposed to enforce the laws, right? They should make sure that the people that are there are doing. that are doing their jobs, right?
The thing is, we are not getting those answers, right? You have a situation now where people are getting, the youngsters, people who are under 18 are being harassed, doxxed online. FIRs have been instigated against them. And, first of all, it's a failure of any institution that it had to come to a point where students have to come out on the roads, get lathi charged to get accountability in the system. I think any right-thinking person would address this issue before it escalated to that point.
No, but it's not happening. That's exactly why you needed to see this change. In this country, things are going to hell in a handbasket. They're just out of control, and nothing seems to change. The fact of the matter, I'm so proud of these. They took an opportunity where the Cockroach Janata Party was mentioned by a judge, right? And they took it and turned it into something positive. And I hope that's a gleaming example. It's happening everywhere else around the world where young people are being the change they want to see, right? They're making it happen. Yeah. But do it legally. Do it legally. There's no rock throwing, fires, destroying property, blah, blah, blah. And the police, vice versa, have to replicate. They have to do it legally. Rubber bullets are used around the world, Ajoy. The rubber bullets are not supposed to penetrate. They're supposed to hit you and cause pain. They're not supposed to penetrate your clothing or your skin, right? These are non-lethal. So there have to be investigations you have to make sure that the rules are being followed by both sides. Number one, if you're going to be police out there, you have to be identified. If somebody's got you and they got your name tag doing something illegal, you should be reprimanded.
So that's one controversy, right? There's no accountability as to who authorized it, and eventually it comes down to the Home Ministry, because the Home Ministry is in charge of all of these forces that were brought out there. So it had to come from the top.
Ask the Home Minister now.
So nobody's giving those answers.
Ask the Home Minister.
Now, number two is they're going after, the students from that protest. Like this girl now has become very, 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 famous. One, let's be honest, she used very abusive language against the Prime Minister, which the opposite side obviously didn't like, which is their right. Mm-hmm. But she's a 15-year-old girl, came out to this protest, used words, very abusive language, which I don't condone. But now she's being harassed by not just the public, the supporters of the current government, but by the police. They're filing FIRs against this girl. She has been forced to apologize.
Yeah.
Which she should be.
Okay.
First of all, can I ask you a question, Ajoy?
Yeah, okay.
Is it illegal to use foul language?
It is not illegal.
It's not illegal, so then there should be no problems.
Yes.
But you've got to have a little bit of common sense and brains. You're out in public. Behave yourself. You want to protest. Did Mahatma Gandhi use foul language? He didn't, did he? And it's not, if it's not illegal, it's freedom of speech. You're protected under the Freedom of Speech Act. You should be able to do a lot of things, but there's a fine line also, Ajoy. I'm not condoning these people, this young girl, not at all. You might not agree with them. I don't agree with them, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go online and start cursing or go out in public and start cursing them. That's not cool.
In my opinion, words never killed anybody.
I was just about to say sticks and stones.
Yeah, we Joanne. I think it's really foolish for a so-called democracy to go after people who have used words. If they've resorted to violence, please.
But words can incite also, no?
No, but it's not. We use bad language every day.
Of course.
Are we inciting any violence?
But I'm not going out there in public in a protest. But that's bad behavior, no?
So it may be bad behavior. You may have a right to say that it's wrong, but that's where your right lies. And that's where somebody else's right lies to use the bad language, even against anybody, even against the Prime Minister, against me. That is what a free speech is about.
Yeah. I call you names all the time, by the way.
Yeah, please do.
I call you bad. I call you bad words all the time, but not in public. I call it to your face.
What do we call Yusuf? How would we use it against Yusuf?
Mr. Mataji? I call him a couple of names, and I can't mention them. I'd get locked up for life if I mentioned them on the air. Yes, Joanne?
All I was going to say is the government should lead by example and rise above something like that, because it is that kind of old adage of sticks and stones may break my bones, but names can never hurt me. Or words can never hurt me. But the point is, obviously in the world of social media, there are people who do get trolled and all of that kind of stuff. So I think, unfortunately, in the case of this young lady, it's been flipped against her in that sense, because she doesn't need online bullying and trolling and all of that additionally, because she came out to protest.
Why were
she
you
should
cursing?
have modified.
Protest. Protest, behave yourself. You got better upbringing. Your family, your parents have taught you better. Protest all you want to. I'm not against that, sweetie. I'm just saying there's a certain way to behave. You carry yourself. I'm more angry with the enforcement, with the police, with the government agencies, first of all, that have been doing this for many, many years and just breaking the rules and flaunting the rules and there's no transparency and people being held accountable. And secondly, for these protests, you want to keep people in line, you can absolutely, but it's a peaceful protest. There was a guy, by the way, and I'm not changing the subject, but there was a guy that put out a document, put out a reel the other day. South Indian guy questioning the RSS. Now, this is a contentious topic. He was questioning the RSS about why, as a political party, as a what are churches and temples? They don't generate, they're non-profit.
Okay.
Why isn't there more transparency? Just like everything else, the buildings and who's allowed these buildings in Mirabai? This dude. He was asking a brilliant question and he's spot on, dude. Why? Listen, you've got to be able to speak your mind. Why? You can go to his office or he can come to yours. But why is the RSS, that they get a bad name? The RSS, everybody gives them a bad name because everybody says they're radical, right? But if you're doing nothing wrong, his question is spot on. Why aren't they allowed, or why aren't they made to declare all their finances, their assets, just like a temple would or a church would?
Yes, or a mosque would.
Or a mosque would.
Yes.
Or a non-for-profit. If you're doing good things, if you're not doing anything wrong.
Yes.
Just like these authorities in Panjim, why aren't you able to be transparent and declare what you're saying? So can you play should we play it?
Oh, we can play it.
Can we play this?
Oh, yeah.
Play this, guys.
You could not touch them. Indira Gandhi could not touch RSS. How come?
See,
this is the statement by BJP.
See, BJP don't know their own history. When Nehru ji and Sardar Patel ji had banned them, जाके गिड़गिड़ाए थे ना, जाके पैर पड़े थे. And when Indira Gandhi ji also had banned, please look at the letters the Sar Sanchalak had written to Mrs. Gandhi, saying that the emergency was much required and it is a great thing that has happened to the country. They let them first read their own editorials in Organizer. If there is some misconception about RSS with me, I would request them to clarify my doubts. Simple hai na bhai. I'm asking why they're not registered.
This guy is Priyank Kharge. Yeah? I don't know who he is. I've never met him.
He's from the Congress in Karnataka.
So this is a politically charged thing, and I couldn't care less if you're Congress, BJP, Aam Aadmi, or anybody. Is that not a good question, Ajay?
End of the day, let's not have double standards in this country, right? You're expecting the churches, the temples, the mosques, NGOs to register themselves
as it should be
to show their accounting with regards to their source of funding, etc.
Absolutely.
Why can't it be this organization?
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? And it's not politically charged. I mean, it absolutely drives me mad when everybody becomes so partisan. In the States, it's the same where the dumbass Democrats and the dumbass Republicans are fighting, and people have no idea why they're fighting each other. They just know we're Republican, I should fight the Democrats. Why isn't it fought according to right and wrong, rules and regulations? Here, it's not about RSS, it's not about BJP, it's not about Congress, it's not about any political affiliation. All we're saying is public officials, do your jobs. You have to be held to higher standards. This guy's asking the right questions. We are in a democracy.
So again, talking about double standards, you're taking, first of all, you're going illegally.
Who's this chick? Who's this girl?
I'll tell you. So you're going illegally against that 15-year-old girl for using abusive language, which is again, first of all, there's no provision in law to allow you to do that, right? One. Number two, what about the other side? You have other people from the current dispensation who have used abusive language in the parliament. This is what this source is saying. Abusive languages, right? Why the double standard? That's the thing. That's law only is good for one, but not good for the other.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
That's the problem with this country.
It's a double standard. But I'm saying to you that, here again, Ajay, all we're asking is, why are people, if they're not breaking the rules, getting in trouble? Rohit Monserrat, who's this thing of the mayor of Panjim, he said you should never be afraid to ask and question your the police,
Your local
Yes.
representative.
your legislators,
Yes.
your government officials. You have to ask the questions, right? You can't be afraid. But if you're not breaking the rules, why can you not be more transparent?
And I'll tell you what, you may disagree with Elon Musk on this. Like they say that Twitter has become a free all for even the right wing. But you remember, you have to allow even the right wing point of view and the left wing point of view to coexist. And you cannot censor anyone.
Even if you don't agree.
Yeah, even if you don't agree. That's the essence of free speech. And you have to have that discussion. And you know what? The truth will come out of that. And I believe in that totally.
But most of the time, though, if you're actually allowing that to be aired in public, which you absolutely have to, because you don't know what you're dealing with if you don't allow these voices to be heard. And so there's a meeting point somewhere in the middle whereby, there is an opportunity for more of a meeting of minds and people to come together in agreement, because you kind of come round in a bit of a full circle anyway.
We've banged home on this show many times about how we need to change. We'd love to see a change in the education system, in our government system, in our judicial system, in the police and the police force enforcing laws and making sure the public is protected. The police work for us, the public servants. They do a very difficult job, and some of these cops are awesome. They're great, great people. I love you and I thank you for your service. The fact of the matter remains, you are elected officials, you're put in, but there is a fundamental problem with the system right now, right? And when you have people, by the way, we're gonna run out of time, dude. Who the hell is Umar Khalid?
Before we get there,
Yeah, so these guys were put it. Sorry, go on.
we have Sean Kenneth who's watching us right
Is
now.
he?
Yeah, he's saying that
My man, Sean Kenneth Fernandez.
he says there's a better way of doing things, but also being outspoken is important, he says.
You have to, Sean. I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying to you, if this stuff is happening and it continues to happen, right? People are going to get pissed off. The Gen Z, the youth, the Cockroach Janata Party. And now it's coming to this, what are the new Gen A?
Gen A. Yeah.
Gen A, good for you. We're going to play that. There's kids in schools that are fed up, and Gen A protests are springing up everywhere. They're talking about how their schools aren't properly facilitated. There's no proper fans, food, facilities, toilets, classrooms. You're absolutely right. You're our future. And if you don't have the amenities, who's your education minister? Who's your principal? Who are your teachers? Why are they being made to do a job with abhorrent conditions? So Gen A is getting a charge, and they're seeing what the CJP is doing, and they're doing it. But you need to have change in this country, dude.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, you want to get to Umar Khalid?
I don't know who this guy is, but supposedly they were. Yeah, let's go on. You tell me.
So Umar Khalid was part of a protest sometime back, about 8 or 10 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, 10 years ago, 2016.
It was a JNU protest. The JNU is a very well recognized university in Delhi, in North India, Jawaharlal Nehru University. And they're well known for their student protests, peaceful protests, and questioning the government whether they like it or not. Right. So he was part of this, and apparently he had called for, the freedom of somebody who was jailed, I think, who was accused or even, I think, was convicted of terrorism.
It was a sedition row.
It was something to do with sedition. So this guy was arrested around 8 years ago, and he under the UAPA Act. Now, this is a new act that's come under the BJP government, which allows you to arrest someone and keep them arrested without putting them through a trial, a speedy trial, etc. So this person is arrested, but he's not been convicted of anything.
Why? Why is he still in jail though?
So he's only in jail because of this act, the UAPA Act.
Sedition.
Yeah. So there was this the protest, the CJP protest that happened in Panaji in Azad Maidan, right, where somebody held a placard.
Yeah.
Asking that this Umar Khalid be freed.
Yeah.
And this person, and I think another person, was also detained or arrested.
Are you serious?
Just for holding up a placard. This is the placard. I think the placard, they're checking. You can see the police are checking, for the placard.
Is it illegal to hold up a placard?
It is not. In a democracy, it should not be.
And so he got arrested for holding up a placard?
Yeah, this is a placard was holding up. Can you see? He's saying,
you detained at Azad Maidan for displaying free Umar Khalid placard at youth who had gathered at Azad Maidan on Saturday to celebrate the resignation of union education. I can't read the rest of it. Anyway,
yeah.
But he got arrested because he wouldn't identify himself. Is it by law, do you have to, if the police ask you to identify yourself, do you have to provide ID?
I did a check on that,
And?
and there's no law. As per ChatGPT, okay, I'm going to prefix that. As per ChatGPT, there's no law that exists in India that allows for somebody to ask for your identification without first telling you why they were asking for it.
Yeah.
So
Why? So then, why the hell was he arrested? Then here again, the police are breaking the laws. If there's any advocates out there, if there's any people out there, they should be jumping on this, because unless I don't know who Umar Khalid is and if he's a this or that or the other. But first of all, it's an absolute travesty that he spends all of these years in jail. This is not Indonesia or Thailand or these countries that are backward. No, I'm not saying backward, but that have people in. Let me rephrase that. People should not spend this much amount of time in jail without a proper trial, right?
He's appealed 9 times for bail and he's been rejected each time.
But then convict him or set him free.
That's the thing. You know what? You
Or
cannot,
set him free.
You cannot keep somebody languishing in jail without him being proven and convicted of a crime.
But then
You're calling him a terrorist. Well and good. You're calling him a terrorist. Prove that he's a terrorist.
And lock him up.
And lock him up for life. If he's really a terrorist.
Of course.
But you know what? How can you call him a terrorist when he's not been convicted of anything?
Yeah, you can't.
But that's here again, no accountability, transparency. Who is responsible? Why is he in jail 9 this thing appeals later, right?
9
if he's done wrong, lock him the hell up, hang him, do whatever the hell you have to do. But if he's not, let him go free, right? Exactly. But my question again in here in Goa, and I'm talking about Goa, I couldn't care less about any other part of the world. Why are you not allowed to hold up a placard at a protest? Why aren't you asked? Why aren't you able to question the police? If the police, by the way, if I've got nothing to hide, I'll show you my ID. I don't have a problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he should show the goddamn ID. He's got a face mask on. Whatever the case, that's his right. But if he's not broken the law, how can the police arrest him?
But apparently it's alleged that it was a Danish youth that had actually been holding up that placard, because those people had gathered there in order to celebrate the success of the CJP.
As they should. What's wrong?
The education minister resigning. So, those people had gone to just basically gather and celebrate. And of course, you're absolutely right. It was something to be celebrated, that overall success. But this guy was identified as a Danish person. And then there's another person later detained who's Sudeep Dalvi, who's also been detained.
Yeah,
it's the same. This is Sudeep?
Sudeep is a well-known activist in Goa.
Why was he arrested?
Because he was protesting against that other person's arrest for holding up this. So listen, you know what was even shocking? I was actually looking at when the guy on the left was getting arrested, the guy in the black shirt. The media were, instead of asking pertinent questions, were harassing this guy and saying, you're a terrorist, who are you?
Our media, local
media. Can you imagine this, Merv? In a democratic society, we have this kind of media.
That actually pisses me off. That actually makes me angry, because I've actually seen it. And our guys, and here again, I'm going to take a lot of flack for this, but our guys should be completely objective. They need to report. They're not there to ask you can ask the questions you want to, but they're supposed to, news media around the world, whether it's print, whether it's any kind of media, needs to be, what's the word, Joanne, I'm looking for? Completely vanilla. Impartial, like us here on the show. I've got an opinion, but that's my opinion. Ajoy's got an opinion. Joanne, whoever's got opinions. News media here can be so easily manipulated. Yeah. And that's absolutely wrong. You guys have to ask the questions, and based on the answers, let the public make their decisions. No? This guy got locked up, and they're saying, lock him up. If he's done nothing wrong, if he's protesting the fact that Sudeep, what does Sudeep get locked up for?
For protesting somebody else's arrest. That guy who held up the placard. But he was protesting his arrest.
Oh my God, dude.
So there's people that are actually calling for them to be non-bailable offences, because they're saying it was anti-national activity.
Who called for it? Somebody called it?
Well, the BJYM are basically calling for that.
Who's the BJYM?
They're the student body of the BJP.
But then these guys are brainless too. Because if they haven't, listen, this is again coming to politics, and I don't give a shit if you're BJP or it's Congress, right? At the end of the day, you've got the best interest for this country. If this Sudeep, I don't even know who Sudeep Dalvi or this whoever the guys, Umar Khalid, but I'm saying to you, if you haven't broken the law, you should not be afraid.
Yes.
You shouldn't be afraid. And the police are there to do their jobs. They're there to protect the public. Absolutely. Criminal, civil, whatever. Enforce the law. Number one. Number two is your news media should be completely unbiased, vanilla, completely transparent, but they need to report. They're not there to tell the police what to do.
Our media in Goa and India are absolute rubbish. The real media is on social media right now, if you ask me.
Yeah, but even that's very subjective.
My point is, you can make, what is actually so-called as journalistic ethics is when you have to report without any bias. In fact, even the inflection of your voice should not show that you're biased one way or the other. Mm-hmm. But all of that, and that is journalism 101 when you're doing a journalistic degree. But you know what? You have now people who are not even qualified journalists. They've not done a course in journalism or become journalists.
I've never done a course in journalism.
But my point is, you would know these basics. These are called ethics, right? And if you want the real truth to come out, place both sides of the story in a very, very unbiased way. And let the public decide. The truth will be the truth, right? It'll come out.
Report the story and let people decide. No?
And let me say another thing from Goa media. I worked in Goa media, so I've seen this. There's a very, very rare instance of investigative journalism of facts. You have, how it works. Some party wants to spin a narrative. They call for a press conference, and end of the day, these guys go for their chai pani. They listen to what A, B, and C. They get their press note.
And they'll report whatever you want them to report.
They'll print out that press note on the next paper. That's how it works.
It's sad. It is sad. It's scary. It's a joke. Actually, you know what? But that's why we don't take a lot of the media seriously, right? You've got some very, very good, your Herald and your Naveen Times and Goa, whatever. You've got a lot of channels, but you've got to be able to build that credibility and make sure that people believe. Even with CNN and BBC and a lot of these Fox in the States and all, they're so far to either direction. It shouldn't be the case.
Another shocking news that I read, and again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently in June the central government of India wanted to ban the use of, you have in Twitter, you have something called community
discussions.
If somebody posts something, all right, the Twitter users can fact check that using Grok on Twitter. So apparently the central government of India, right, wants to ban that. Now, why would you want to do that?
Are you serious?
Why would you want to do that?
Fishy.
Can I just ban Grok because it's a terrible name?
No, sweetie.
I hate that name. It's a terrible name.
Ajoy, if you've got a built-in plug-in to a LLM that's going to allow you to fact check everything, I think it's a great thing.
It's a great thing.
And I need it for Donald Trump. That was my invention. I coined that, by the way. I said during the presidential debates, I wanted to have lights above the president or every candidate that was debating, green and red. When he's telling the truth, it's green. When he lies, it's red. And it would look like a flipper disco above Donald Trump's head. You know what I'm saying?
Idea.
I think it's a great idea that you got to verify what's being said.
Well, you do, but you've got BBC Verify also, because they've got that service whereby they actually do want to fact check absolutely everything, and they'll take independent reports and they'll analyze photographs and all of that kind of stuff. But the thing is, even with these LLMs, there's a lot of misinformation in there, and there's manipulation, and there's people that are creating the narrative through the LLMs as well. So that's quite difficult to get it like as reliable sources.
It's not. Don't believe which Sean mentioned that, right? Get Sean to call in, dude. We need to call him. I'm voting for Sean to be the next president. Not president. He's going to be the CM president. This ain't the States. Mr. Fernandez, we're going to vote for you to be the next CM. We want you to be the technology minister of Goa, because you've actually got a passion and what you say makes sense. You speak your mind, and I love that. It's refreshing. You actually genuinely care, just like me and all of us here on the show. You genuinely give a flying F about this place, and you'd love to see it succeed. Get us out of the gutter. Start somewhere. I'm so proud of. We're going to get into more of the Cockroach Janata Party and the Gen A movement and these kids doing all these things, making the changes. But first, we've got to pay the bills. Ladies and gentlemen, you tuned into the Merv Britto Show. The opinions expressed on this show are the opinions of the people expressing them, and not the expressed opinions or implied opinions of the Merv Britto Show. I'm seeing a lot of comments come up there, and we're not going to read them. We're going to get into a lot more details. But I want to put our social media handles. If somebody wants to get in touch with us and get on the air with me, or have a conversation and make something that we're doing or saying, correct us, add to what we're saying, I'd love to get in touch with us. This is an interactive show. These are our social media handles on the screen right now. Can I read out some of these names? Is it Yusuf who's following us? I saw ESF.
He's joined.
Yeah. Karan, there's loads. I can't read. Cute boy. Prasnat, Bible love. Bib love. Karan, I'm not going to read all these things, dude.
It's not Bib love. It's Biblo Velio.
Is it Biblo Velio? Biblo! That's my family friend, Biblo Velia and Merlin, the lovely Merlin Biblo, the best prawn curry in Goa, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, those social media hands on the screen. Get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to continue to talk about this because this is really important to me, and the fact that these things are happening. This happened at Azad Maidan after the protests. These people got arrested. These kids are now, the Cockroach Janata Party is, I hope they're not won and out. I hope they're not done. Yeah, you've accomplished something massive, and they gain the traction to make the changes and be the change you want to see.
Absolutely, and I think they could be changed in so many other different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
The youth is the future of this country.
It is. Talk about Gen A, Ajoy.
Yeah, this is So you actually.
This is Gen Z, dude.
Gen Z, no?
I'm a millennial.
You're a millennial. So these are kids, and I love this. Play this, dude.
Are now protesting over something far more basic than most of us would imagine. In Fatehpur, Uttar Pradesh, students walked out of class, alleging there was no clean drinking water, unhygienic toilets, classrooms without electricity or fans, too few benches, and poor sanitation. The protest forced education officials to inspect the school and promise action. And it's not just Uttar Pradesh. In Rajasthan's Badmer and Jalore, students locked school gates, demanding more teachers, saying entire subjects are going untaught because of vacant posts.
सेकंड गेट के एक भी टीचर नहीं है और L1, L2 सभी के टीचर लगाए, वरना तब तक न तो स्कूल का लॉक खुलेगा, 10 बजे तक कोई नहीं आया तो हम रोड ब्लॉक करेंगे.
From Gen Z to Gen Alpha, India's youngest voices are no longer staying silent, and this time they're demanding the basics: teachers, classrooms, and the right to an education. First Gen Z, now Gen Alpha is hitting the street.
Okay. Well, why is that showing PC2 hitting max, dude? Volume-wise, I don't care. I want a moment of silence. I want to salute these kids. I think that's so. But why should our young people, the next generation, not have proper toilet facilities, fans, lights? There was a huge hole in a chalkboard.
Yeah, and drinking water also.
Why drinking water, fans, lights? Why aren't teachers being paid properly? Are these places, and it's happening everywhere, right? They mentioned Udaipur, Rajasthan, all these different places. Ajay, I think that's brilliant, dude.
Merv, these are concepts that have been around for a long while. We know that to improve the quality of life in this country, in different indexes, it all starts with education. And what did you say at the beginning of this show? Remember, keep them what? Keep them what?
Keep them dumb, keep them down.
Yes, that's what's happening. This is what you're seeing here. You're not investing in education for a reason, because you don't want these children to be the future. You don't want them to be educated and ask for scientific results in everything that we achieve in this country, right? So this is what it is.
Ajoy,
yeah,
I love the fact, and I'm saying this, I'm going to beat on this for the next 100 years that I'm alive, but I love the fact that we've said this so many times on the show that technology can be the great leveler. Can be, Joanne, we've spoken about how technology can use for the right things, right?
Yeah.
Why should it take government officials, education officials, to come and visit these schools only when there's a complaint?
Yeah.
What the F are you doing sitting in your offices when you should be out there going and visiting your principals, your district officials that are in charge with education? Why are schools being allowed to get dilapidated and run down? Where your kids, how do you plan on teaching these kids properly?
Yeah. Well,
they should be forced to send their children to those schools, right? Yeah. You should not be allowed as a government official to send your kids overseas to study.
Exactly. That's right. You hit the nail on the head, because the majority of the people in power today,
these schools are educated abroad.
Their children get to go abroad.
Private schools.
Get to enjoy the best of education. But what about our children here? You know, another interesting statistic that I can't pull up right now, but apparently these government schools throughout India, they lack basic toilets for girls. So there's a huge percentage of girls that don't go to schools because they don't have toilet facilities. What a shame.
Read that, Billy.
What a
Read
shame.
that. The school system is designed. What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to? You wanted me to read that? The school system is designed to produce obedient workers, not free thinkers. Question it, and you become the problem. Who said that?
That is Noam Chomsky, but I don't know. I guess for you to.
But Sean mentioned this, right? Sean mentioned about we talk about technology being the great leveler. Are you telling me that our money that we pay huge amounts of money in taxes, there's still not money for little girls to be able to go to school? Little girls that potentially need to use a bathroom for whatever reasons, they don't have proper facilities, toilets. Joanne, as a woman, as a lady, you don't have separate. Why are these officials acting like they're doing a great thing by visiting a school only when there is a problem?
Well, I think that we've also touched on it before about females on their menstrual cycle and not having to go to school and things like that. But I do believe you should actually have the right facilities. You shouldn't be deprived of any kind of education because you don't have the basic amenities in order to support
2026, dude.
And before we move on to the next topic, I tell the Gen Z, the future of this country, you guys have to vote for political parties that make education the cornerstone of their policy. If they don't have that, and if they don't have a proven track record, boot them out. Boot them out, because you know what? You will end up becoming like us. We have wasted our youth. We have not had those opportunities in the 80s. We talked about Yash Fatte, who is a budding squash paper player.
World class.
Yeah.
And he was ruining the fact that he didn't have those facilities here in Goa. Why shouldn't he? So I'm requesting you, please, make sure that your voice is heard through your parents, and that if you have the ability to vote, if you're a first-time voter, vote for at least this. Don't compromise on this, because you're basically compromising on your future.
I want to ask, and I'm saying here again, education, this technology can be a leveler, because everybody's got access to the internet. Everybody's got access to a telephone, your mobile data, whatever. You can see and learn and understand anything happening around the world. Our little girls and boys that go to the shalas, the public schools, these places that are like flipping just dilapidated buildings that don't have fans and light. Why is that still allowed? Because the money's there. The money's been collected. The money's being paid in taxes to these coffers, to these government agencies. But where do you start? I'm talking about specifically in Goa, but on a national level, Ajoy, your education minister should be firing people that are not doing their jobs. The people should be going and doing their jobs in the local states and all these places that these little young people are. Gen A, good for you.
Yeah, good for you guys.
You deserve to have proper amenities.
Yeah, but they actually were raising awareness through digital media as well, and they were generating AI placards in order to generate the overall awareness. And there was like 1,500 of these students had a 6-hour sit-in. I mean, that's a lot, really, for them to actually do that. I suppose they weren't just skiving off. They were literally just doing it for a reason, to create that awareness. And it's great that they actually did get the local officials to actually just come down there and actually make them some promises.
Sweetie, this is not a one and out. These guys have come out there with their fancy iron shirts and all. These kids don't even have basic books.
Exactly.
Benches, classrooms, fans, lights, toilets, computers.
Yes. How do you build a future if you don't have those basics, right? And you asked about the money is there, Merv, but you know what is not there? The willpower, the political willpower.
No, but it's not. But that's not good enough.
It's not good enough. But why is it the case? I think it can only come down to the fact that they don't want educated people in this country.
Yeah, but the money's being siphoned, right? The money's going somewhere.
The rich want to remain rich, and the poor have to be poor. That's what it is.
Ajoy, that's why we need the transparency, right? These officials that are in charge of these departments need to be held responsible. Where did that money get spent? Who spent the money? Who okayed the money? What was bought? Did it actually go to the school? Did it actually go to the classrooms? Why do little girls not have separate toilets from little boys? So these kind of questions, you really need to give a shit. You really need to care for to make the change happen. But then put the right people in place, and the people that are in place that are not doing the jobs, boot them. And we're not trying to create or incite or anything, but this is common sense stuff. Anybody out there would say the same. If I can afford to send my kids to Woodstock and all these Missouri, to all these hill stations, good for me, right? But our basic amenities for kids that don't have that opportunity, parents work like dogs to pay the bills, and these kids are going to public schools. They should be allowed to be able to learn. The teachers need to be properly trained and properly paid to teach our future, the next generation, not to make the mistakes that have been made for the last 50, 60 years. But you've got the money. It's not being put to use in the right ways by the right people, and those people need to be moved out of these jobs. Listen, I'm going to get, God damn it. I'll be here all week, dude. I won't stop talking about this, but I love the fact that you've got technology out there and these young people are seeing, by example, they're seeing what the Cockroach Janata Party's done. Yeah. And they're doing it for themselves.
Keep doing it. That's what I say. Keep doing it. Don't use bad language.
Don't do it. You're good.
But you know what? You guys are fighting for your future, and there's nothing wrong in that. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
You need to be the change you want to see. As John F. Kennedy, who is it? Robert F. Kennedy? John F. Kennedy said, be the change you want. Don't ask what your country can do for you.
That's John F. Kennedy.
Ask what you can do, though, JFK.
Yes.
What you can do for your country. And I'm so proud of these young people today. Use technology for the good. Make the change. Be the change you want to see. Yeah. Keep going. It will happen in time. Mm-hmm. You're just getting the momentum. You're just starting. Okay, we're going to run out of time, sweetie.
Well, I was just going to say regarding that anti-leak bill.
Neat.
Yeah, so how effective do people feel that it's actually going to be? Because there's obviously a lot of talk about imprisonment and fines and things like that.
Lock people up. Make an example. Set an example. And not only the people, you got to lock up the superiors that have allowed this to happen, the people in charge. Yeah. They should be held responsible. They should be held accountable. Mm-hmm. For not doing your jobs and collecting a salary. You should pay the price.
So according to the new bill, individual crimes, you can attract a jail term of 5 to 10 years and fines up to 50 lakh. Yeah. Organized rackets, a minimum of 7 to 10 years and fines up to 10 crore. Yeah. Property seizure could be involved and cost recovery. Yeah. You know what? That's wonderful. But the question is,
who's going to enforce it?
The students are asking these fast track courts. We've had them. We've had these dedicated courts for such cases, and still they've been languishing for the longest time. Yeah. So, it's great to see this on paper, but the proof will be in the eating of the pudding.
We've got a movement here in Goa. The what is it called?
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough, right? Yeah. And here again, I'm gaining nothing. I'm benefiting in no way from promoting them. But this is a start. This Gen Z, the Cockroach Janata Party, the Gen A, and all these movements are just the water starting to bubble. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what you want to see. Joy, that's why we do the show. That's why we love this place. And we're so really passionate about what we're talking about.
Enough is Enough movement is great. It's being spearheaded by Justice Rubello, who's a well-respected ex-Supreme Court judge, right? But the thing is, what I notice is it is headed by people who are, I don't say it in this way, but I don't mean any offense, but the elderly people. I want to see the youth involved. I want to see the youth coming out and say, we want this for Goa. The youth of Goa want this for Goa. We want better education. We want better infrastructure. We want this. We want that. We don't want casinos. You know what I mean? So those kind of faces, that kind of presence should be more prevalent. Yeah. I hope they take inspiration from the pan-India Cockroach Janata Party and make a equivalent version of that here in Goa for the Goan youth. Yes.
But you're right. I mean, you do need the youth to be involved, but I also do believe that you actually need the older generation as well, with their experience and their guidance.
I was going to say the same thing.
No, I'm not trying to dismiss the older generation, but you're fighting for what? You're fighting for the future of Goa. For whom?
For your grandchildren, your kids, all of that.
Can I just say something? Not just a pretty face. Put my face on this. Listen, it's not just a pretty face. I'm a pretty smart guy. Let me tell you, the whole idea is because of old people have nothing to lose. I'm at the end of my life and I want to leave a legacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for you, old people. Get your asses out of the old people homes. You've got the knowledge. You've got the history. You've got the experience. That's the people that are leading the charge, because they've got all this. But you're absolutely right, Ajoy. The youth have to get involved because a lot of these people have nothing. The older people, Justice Rebello, and a lot of these older people that are running these movements, they've got nothing to lose. We're not going to be around forever. They are the front, but you need to have the follow through. No,
the Justice Rebello there's no better guide to the law than Justice Rebello, right?
Yeah, correct.
And he could guide the youth as to how to fight for their rights, their legal rights. So there's nothing wrong in that.
But pass the torch along, no?
Exactly.
And what they're doing, I salute the you too. What is it? Me too? Not me too. What am I? I'm getting confused.
Enough is enough.
Enough's enough. I salute you. Great. Well done. Good job. The point I'm trying to make is, yes, I want to see these young people here in Goa. This is your land. The Comunidad property, sons of the soil, all this kind of stuff. This is yours. If you don't stand up like these kids around the country that need better education standards, because if nobody else is going to fight for you.
Yeah.
You better get off your ass, put the goddamn PS2 down, and go and fight for it.
And do it peacefully.
Peacefully.
Yeah.
Do it the right way.
Don't give these guys any excuse to detain you or whatever,
Question authority in the right way. Behave yourselves. It's not in a bad way that you're doing it, but you have every right, every reason to question authority and ask them what they're doing, why it's being done, why it's not being done better, and hold people accountable.
Yes.
Okay, we're coming to the end of the show. We're going to talk about the Commonwealth Games, dude.
Yeah.
Joanne, I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm a sports person. I love into it. But we have to mention some of these people that are doing very, very well in representing India. Yash Fateh, a big shout out to you. I don't know if you're playing in the Commonwealth Games.
No, Mervyn, there's no squash in the Commonwealth Games. They weren't able to do that.
Okay.
Basically because Glasgow had taken it over from Victoria kind of last minute because the costs were spiraling out of control. So Glasgow took it on, but they actually had to reduce a lot of the events. So I know India initially were quite upset because, quite a lot of the events that they actually had to take out, India were quite strong in. However, India are finishing out 4th. They've won 39 medals. They've done so well. So there's been 13
Who's
golds.
this dude? What's his name? Soman Rana.
Yeah.
And he won 1, 2 in the men's.
So there's 13 golds, 17 silvers and 9 bronze. So they've done so well in boxing. They got 7 golds in boxing and 3 silvers, which is phenomenal. So it's a record actually in the
Why are these
Games.
people representing India in the Olympics?
Well, I'm sure they probably will be, but the Commonwealth Games is a smaller stage because
I know it's a smaller stage, but you've got the talent. These guys should be killing it in the Olympics. They've done very well. Take nothing away from them.
Yeah. So they're improving in athletics as well. So there was 4 silvers and 4 bronzes that were taken. So there was 10,000 meters, long jump, javelin and triple jump. Decathlon, there was a bronze medal, 5,000 meters, javelin and discus, and also the para athletics.
Para here locally in Para?
No, not here. Para athletics. There was 3 golds. So there was the men's shot put, women's shot put, and then the men's 100 meters T47, as well as 2 silvers and a bronze. So weightlifting, I think Mirabai is quite a champion and well known here in India. She got a gold, so she's done phenomenally well. So it's just fantastic. There were 6 silvers as well in the weightlifting.
Mirabai wins gold. Bindyarani Devi wins bronze. India's 5th weightlifting. India always does good in weightlifting and all these. I just want them to succeed on an international platform like the Olympics, dude. You've got the talent. You've got the people that can do these things. I spoke to I don't want to mention his name. His surname is Mendonça, and he was mentioning his son, who's done so well. He's a local Goan boy from Saligon. I'm not making this up, dude. I promise you, world-ranked chess player.
Wow.
Another Yash Fateh story. I didn't even know this. I bumped into him at the Gymkhana, the Porvorim Gymkhana, right? He was telling me about his son and what hard they've had to work to get him to where he is with little or no support from the government.
Yeah.
And it's sad because you've got these athletes that are performing at the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
We should have massive representation. You're a director, who's the top dog for sports and athletics. Who would be the government, the department, the agency?
I remember we giving the answer sometime back. But
Search it for me. He should be ashamed of himself. I want to know the name of the guy who's controls India's athletics and the Goa athletics, the director, the minister of sports. The dude couldn't pronounce Sikkim, by the way, right? That was the sports.
that was education. That was the education.
Yeah.
Now, who is the goddamn sports minister of India and the sports minister of Goa? They should be ashamed of themselves. If this kid has done so well from Saligaon in Goa.
In chess.
In chess, dude.
But I read somewhere, apparently they are coming up with a chess institute here in Goa. The government is planning to come up with some kind of a institute.
Who is it, Willie? Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, Union Minister at the current central level of the Sri Ramesh Tawarga Goa State Sports Minister. Okay, so this is the current sports ministers are Dr. Mukesh Mandavia is Union Minister, and at the local level is Sri Ramesh Tawarkar. Never heard of either of these guys. You guys should be embarrassed. Union Minister, but I'm saying to you, right? These guys, you've got young people that are passionate. I didn't even know we had chess players here in Goa. We mentioned that 14-year-old kid was a grandmaster.
Grandmaster now,
what was his name? 100 points. Sangmogo. Hey, the guy.
Come on, Mervin.
What was the kid's name, dude? The 14-year-old chess prodigy.
We'd have to Google it.
Okay,
Mervin.
whatever. I'm just saying, you guys, we've got the talent. You've got kids in school, but you've also got to be able to encourage sports and the facilities. I was so proud of this Porvorim Gymkhana. And I've got a squash court right around the corner. I'm going to be there every day. The fact of the matter remains, it's a shame because at the Commonwealth Games, if these guys are doing so well, why can't we do it at the Olympics?
Are you talking about Ethan Vaz, by the way?
Yes. I'll join 1,000 points for you, my friend.
1,000 points to Google.
Ethan Vaz and the young, look up his name. He's from Saligaon, if you don't believe me, some Mendonça. Look it up, I promise you. I'm going to get into it, dude. We've got to cut it short. I want to talk about my friend Infantino.
Oh, Lord.
I look up this guy's name. Mendonça? Who's on the keyboard?
You want me to look up Infantino and
No,
Mendonça?
Mendonça. MEN, not Ethan Vaz, you knob. Oh, sorry, that's Willie. Look up a Mendonça from Saligaon, ranked world chess champ. No? Okay.
No, not
All right, never mind. Clear. It doesn't say anything about Mendonça in Rayago, born in September 20. It's Ethan Vaz. I just told you. Let's try this in English, Yusuf. Okay, move on.
Hold on. There was another game you were talking about earlier.
For Commonwealth?
Yeah. Commonwealth Lazy something.
The Lazy Championship.
Yes.
Gold medal goes to Yusuf Mataji. Who is?
Are you referring to this gentleman?
Which one? There you go. Leon Mendonça, the Goan chess whiz known for Hawaiian shirts, attacking chess and appetite for big scalps. Hey, listen, this guy's from Saligaon. I'm not making this up. I met his dad.
Yeah.
And he's killing it. He's another local Goan youth product, like killing it. International world-ranked chess player, no?
Merv, just say the truth. He beat you at chess and
no, Baba,
the compromises you promote him. As we should promote Leon Mendonça. Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
And he's from Saligaon. I always claim these guys are from Saligaon, but this guy's actually from Saligaon. He's doing well.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is I'm not trying to promote anything. The point I'm trying to make is we've got talent here in India. And you can't expect children to do well in this world if you can't give them basic good education in schools.
Yeah.
And next level secondary education. Fund the hell out of them when it comes to sports. You've got the talent. It's an embarrassment to have the world's largest or second largest population in the world. And we've got a pittance for representation at these international events.
Yeah.
Correct.
Let's get into the last topic of the day is FIFA.
Well, I was going to say, before we get into the controversy that's been going on this last week,
Gianni.
I think we should give a shout out to Sydney Lopez Cabral, who's from Cape Verde, and his goal against Argentina has been voted the goal of the tournament.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So he's
from Goa. Is he from Saligaon?
No. But he was actually born, he was born outside of Cape Verde. He was born in Rotterdam. However, he's obviously qualified to represent them. And against Argentina, he's been voted the goal of the
Don't be trying to claim him as Goan. He's not from Goa. Hey, is that him with Messi?
No.
Kylian Mbappe beating the World Cup. I don't
No,
care about
that is, because basically he did extremely well, and I think it's fabulous that he beat all of these high-profile players.
And rightly so, that goal was fabulous.
Like, can we see the goal that you're talking about now?
We'll be doxed.
Okay, never mind. No, don't.
Yeah, but
wonderful.
good on him.
Let's go on. Let's talk about Infantino.
Yeah.
I'm going to bust him in his bald head.
Yeah. So
you know what? I think it is absolutely in travesty, this guy, what he was trying to do. And thank you so much, UEFA, and a lot of the other football organizations.
CONCACAF and the Asian Football Association also, they all came out in solidarity, because it's only in the course of a week. Essentially, you've just come off the back of the World Cup. They had, on the Saturday ahead of the World Cup final, they actually had a meeting in New York, probably talking about finances and stuff like that. Now, I think everybody was just completely blindsided. It was the media in the US that actually broke the story.
There it is right there on the screen.
Yeah, that Infantino was essentially wanting to sell off and commercialize the World Cup even more. So it wasn't even like these people had actually had any... What's the word?
Brains.
No, brains. What is it? Collaboration and consultation. Nobody knew anything about it. It came out in the media. Now, you can't have just such a major event, the FIFA World Cup 2026, and then in the space of 2 weeks, all of a sudden you're announcing this additional sell-off.
Keep that on the screen. Donald's got him on it. Donald's got him in his pocket. This is Jared Kushner's brother. $20 million in Kushner-backed World Cup plan. Mate, Gianni, this is not your goddamn organization. This is football is for the world.
Yeah.
And he tried to make this something really underhanded and get the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
Firstly, I don't think FIFA is wanting for money, right? I think they're highly profitable.
It's a not-for-profit organization. But the thing is, what he was doing was he was trying to grease the wheels and tell all of these smaller organizations, if you vote for this, you're going to get all of these millions into your local organizations, your local football authorities. So, obviously for England, the Premier League, all of that, it was a drop in the ocean. But for a lot of these other smaller and nations, it would have been a lot of money, but it was literally trying to bribe them.
Sweetie, right or wrong?
Crazy.
Joanne, right or wrong?
Wrong.
Completely wrong, right?
Completely.
And here again, Donald DJT screwed it up when he got involved. He received it. Infantino's like a big, what's it? Not infanticide. What's it called when you just bow padao? In English? How do you say he's in awe of Donald Trump, right?
Sycophant.
Sycophant. He's given the Peace Award, his own Peace Award that he get. Okay, forget about that. When the goddamn red card incident, he got it pulled off. DJT made a phone call, got it postponed for you, whatever. Now he's got DJT's son-in-law's brother eating. I mean, this Infantino should be. No way in hell he gets reelected.
This is a perfect analogy, although it's on a very, very big scale.
Is he Indian, by the way? Infantino Indian.
He's Swiss.
But he could be a Goan.
He must be from Goa, dude.
You know why?
He's trying to sell his soul.
I'll tell you why. Because here you have FIFA that is could be Goa, right? a beautiful state like Goa, and FIFA being a huge organization with a lot of history, a lot of money.
Also beautiful, could be.
Yeah.
Custodians of the game.
And here we have Infantino, and here on the other side, in Goa, we have us wanting to sell Goa. And Infantino wanting to sell FIFA. Very, very, very similar analogy.
No, don't you dare. Don't speak for us. And I'm not going to be a part of us. I'm not trying to sell any part of Goa, mate.
So it's a very similar situation, albeit on a very large scale compared to Goa. But yes.
Let me ask you this, dude. Do you agree with how the World Cup went off? The World Cup's once every 4 years. It's a brilliant event.
Okay.
It's for the people.
Yeah.
The world football is for the public. It's owned by the world football fanatics, correct?
Absolutely. It's come from the working classes.
Sweetie pie, but why were they charging these exorbitant rates and charging both sides of the ticket? The seller of the ticket and the buyer of the ticket had to pay. People couldn't afford it. It's for the common man.
Yeah.
And Infantino's doing nothing about changing this system. It's just making it more expensive. But now he's taking it to a different level where he's trying to actually get private without even putting it out there. He's so going. It's scary. Why did you not make this public? CONCACAF, UEFA, all these international affiliated associations. Make them aware. Put it out there. If you want to do it, let's do it. If you don't want to do it, we won't do it. Why was it so secretive?
Well, it's a humiliating climb down, essentially. At the end of the day, you had the perfect opportunity to let people know up front, hey, listen, we're just going to consider this. We're going to do a consultation around this. But you literally just went straight for it and secretively had got all of these other things, other wheels in motion. And then it was broken by the press. I mean, it's outrageous.
I'll tell you what, he's coming up for re-election in March. Right?
Yeah.
We should get him to come and plant trees here in Goa.
Good on UEFA, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sticking up for what's right.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they could have made a lot of money by this deal going through.
Yeah, correct.
It's a $20 billion deal, apparently.
Yeah.
So when you look at the big picture, Ajoy, $20 billion, not that much, right? Correct. But I'm saying to you, why would you sell the soul of something that's so pure?
Yeah, that's so true.
But the thing is that UEFA really did go out on a limb because even for the women's game, the qualifiers were happening in September. There's more qualifying rounds in September, and this absolutely could have affected the qualifying for the Women's World Cup. So they really, really did go out on a limb and, really pressurize. And essentially, I think there's a major vote of no confidence in him. And, I think his position's untenable, really.
I think one of the reasons why UEFA also could have not wanted to go with Infantino is because of the whole Europe, Donald Trump, friction over Ukraine, etc. Right? So it could be that. I don't know.
It's sad. It's scary because this guy is doing, I don't think he's taking it in the right direction. And we use the analogy of being a person from here in Goa that's doing the same thing. You're taking this in a direction you don't want it to go. That's not your job. You do your job and protect the sport, protect the game. Yeah. Make it the game of the common man. Yeah. Here we say the same thing in Goa about these people that are running the government, planting trees with no plan, no clue what trees, where to plant them, how to plant them, what goes best where. Yeah. Public education. When you have schools that are run down, make Gianni come and plant trees. Make him send his kids to the schools here locally. Make these officials in government that are allowing them here on a central government level, on a local government level, make them send their own kids to these schools to understand the change you need to see. This is outrageous. It's outdated. It's ridiculous, dude. And you know what? I'm so glad that social media, it doesn't have to be expensive. It's available to anybody with a phone. You can actually see the change in all these different places in the world. You can see what social media, how it levels and makes people, educates people and levels the playing field, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this is the kind of stuff that these Gen A and all these people that are seeing the CJP using that as an example and awakening these lions within.
What, the three lines, like the England three line?
No, like the line, like these people that have gained a voice, that have woken up suddenly because of all these injustices and said, you know what, we need to make a change. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the we're not talking about anything else.
Mo, I want to show you something.
Nakari.
You love this video. You want to talk about positive endings?
Yes.
Why don't you just talk for a little while and I'll get that ready?
Okay. So Joanne, we do the show and I want people out there to know it's not about, we're not being paid. We're doing this as a labor of love.
Yeah.
We do this because we're so proud of this place and we love this place and we want to protect it. I'm not going to be around much longer, but while I'm here, this is the only way we can give back. Why are you laughing?
No, because I pulled a face. We were pulling faces earlier on in the show for comedy value.
I can change my face, but that's the face you were born with. And I'm so glad you were, because I love that face. No, we do the show and it's an interactive show that we do, and we're not trying to stir it up, but you've got to make people aware of what's going on and make more people aware of what's happening here in Goa. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be going, you don't have to be from Goa. You can be anyone from anywhere around the world that has ever been or has any connection, husband, wife, a trip I made to Goa. Yeah. To make you aware of what's happening right now and how we need to make people change the current system that's so flawed, that's so broken, that's so archaic. Yeah. I get passionate, I get carried away, but it's out of love, it's out of passion. I'm talking about this because I want to make people understand that they need to interact with us. Yeah. Social media handles. Oh, go on, Ajay.
I came across this video and it was so heartwarming. And it represents what the future, how much youth is getting lost because of poverty and lack of access to what you call facilities and what have you. So just have a look at this video. It's so enduring. Just have a look.
है ना बैठते हम गाड़ी में है ना
क्या
गाड़ी में बैठे क्या अच्छा लगता है गाड़ी में
You understand?
Yeah.
हम
Can I sit in the car? Have you never sat in a taxi before?
एसी वाली टैक्सी में
I want to sit in an AC taxi. These are little urchins.
हां इधर पीछे में
So they're asking to get into the taxi.
How cute, dude. Look at their faces.
ले
Dude.
जाओ
Wow, he let him sit in. In AC.
केक खानी है हमको
क्या खाना है बोलो
They're asking for
केक
cake.
खाना है
खाना है
They want to eat cake. What do you want to eat?
भैया उधर से आके सिंगल से होके मेरी चाची को भी दिखाया गया
They want to go around and see their uncle or auntie or someone at
पहला मेरा
Chachi's.
सपना था गाड़ी
The
में
joy in their faces, Mo.
Look at the
तो पूरा नहीं हुआ?
goddamn glee.
अभी पूरा हो गया
अभी पूरा हो गया
हाँ
तुम्हारा
हाँ
Beautiful little children.
चाची
Look, she's waving at it.
कैसा लग रहा है
अच्छा लग रहा है सिंगल लाइट
It's a very short video.
ऐसे
It's gonna
किसी
be
की गाड़ी में
intense.
बैठना नहीं है जान पहचान वाले ना उनकी ही गाड़ी में बैठना है
The guy's telling him, don't sit in
हमारी तो गाड़ी
strangers'
में बैठे
cars.
कभी किसी की गाड़ी में बैठे नहीं क्योंकि हमने आपको बहुत दिल से पहचानते हैं क्योंकि आप मेरे भैया लगते हो आप मेरे सगे भैया
Look at him wave.
अजय अजय
How cute are these? I love that video, dude.
He shouldn't have been filming
So
while driving
they
though.
want to take their brother on the drive, so they called wait
ये कौन
around
है?
minute circle.
ये तुम्हारा भाई तुम्हें केक खानी है
हाँ केक खाना
बैठ जाओ
तीन केक
You want to eat cake? Come, sit. Sit down, let's eat some
Yeah.
cake. How
बांट
cool is
बांट के
that?
खाना है ना बड़ी वाली है
So that a good ending
Bought
too.
him the cake.
Yeah, you bought him a big cake
मतलब
there.
सिंगल लाओ चलो
और सब मिल
Look
बांट
at
के
their
खाना है ना
faces, dude.
अच्छा लगा
फिर मिलते हैं
Who's the guy? Where did this video come from,
This
dude?
came from apparently from Gujarat.
Oh.
Who's the guy? He deserves a huge round of applause. Well done. Good on you, man.
And I just, we're talking about education, access to education. I think about these kids. So,
Did you see the glee on their face?
exactly. It is so heartwarming to see the pure joy of something that we take for granted every day.
Yeah.
To get into a car. Here, these people have gotten into a car for the first time in their lives.
AC Gadi.
And the joy on their faces. And I if they had access to other things in life,
Education.
I think they would take this country a long, long way.
The last thing I'm going to say before we end this, and I love this guy. I don't know who the guy was. I'd love to mention his name, and kudos to you, mate. Well done. That is such a cool thing to do with little street urchins that are so ready to take on the world. Their brains are like sponges. My mom was an educator, ferocious about her kids' education. I've said this many times. My sister Paula, when she was growing up, would teach the local street urchins in our garage in Chimbur. Love to do that. She would do that voluntarily. The kids would love to learn, but she did that when she was a teenager. And many, many years down the road, her daughter Priyanka is doing the same thing, giving up a really good job to teach children.
Yeah.
We're not just barking on and beating on and banging on about this. We really mean that these kids are the future. They're the next generation of this country. You need people that actually give a damn to be the change and help these. That guy in the car, you know what? We want to tell kids you don't jump into strangers' cars, but that guy had all the good intentions. He bought him cake and all that kind of stuff. This is the next generation of this country, the hands you're going to leave it in.
Yeah.
If you don't give them the best education and try, the money's there. Don't complain about the money. You just need senior level people in charge to do their jobs. The salaries you're collecting is to take care of the job, do the job properly, take care of the people that you're there, that have put you in power, that trust you. Election-wise, vote the right people in. I'm not going to try and preach to you. That's the end of it. I'm exhausted, dude. This is a good show, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you to Sean, Kenneth, Fernandez for being on the show last week. We're going to start planning our next guest. So if you've got some suggestion, let us know. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of another show. Next Sunday.
Yep. So I just wanted to say happy Friendship Day to everybody. As far as I'm concerned, I couldn't live without my friends. You know who you all are. You know how you've helped and influenced me, and you've always been there for me. So thank you so much.
You got a friend in me.
Baba, if you want to be my friend, don't sing. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on Friendship Day, mate?
Me.
Okay. No, the other the guy sitting next to you.
You know who you are, man. You're an asshole. That's all I'm going to say.
Willie, anybody
Only friends
especially
can
want
say that to each other.
I've got a lot of people. I'm going to say this very easily. I've got a couple of people. I can count my friends on one hand. I've got a lot of acquaintances, but my friends do mean the world to me. All of you guys, I love you guys, and I appreciate the time that I spend. That's why we moved to Goa, that I can enjoy and appreciate what I do have. What little we do have, it makes it all the more special to spend it with you, my friends. So I love you guys for it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Merv Britto, and I enjoy doing what we do. It takes a team, and I thank you, and I consider you my friends, all of you guys that helped me make this happen. I appreciate it. Ajoy, Wilbert, Yusuf, Neil, Joanne, my beautiful wife, my best friend.
Oh, so cute. Thank you so much. I was going to say, just to check out this poem, Reason, Season and a Lifetime. So it's by Brian A. Chalker, and I think he's known as Drew. And the opening line of it is, people always come into your life for a reason, a season and a lifetime. When you figure out which it is, you know exactly what to do.
Wow. Nice way to end World Friendship Day. Well done. Well put. Thank you, sweetie pie. Who was the author of that?
It's Brian A. Chalker, who's known as Drew.
I'm going to break. Before I say bye, I'm just going to say also what comes to mind is my dad's favorite poem was If by Rudyard Kipling. Brilliant poem. We were made to study. We were made to learn that. My brother won awards. Morris won awards for elocution contests, saying that that's another brilliant poem.
Yeah.
But on this World Friendship Day, we love you guys out there. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Until next Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, this is Merv on behalf of our team saying, take care of yourselves, one another. Adios. Have a great week.